Hey YouTube, Sensei Israel here today with a little bit of an educational video on different knife parts. This one is going to be about what's known as the belly of a knife. You hear that term used in many knife reviews, including my own. What is the belly of a knife? Well, technically, the belly of a knife is the point at which the edge of the knife, the edge of the design, shall we say, begins curving towards the tip, eventually becoming or forming the tip. For example, on this SOG or a camp knife, all right, the belly starts about right there, and it curves all the way to the tip. You know, this is something that confuses many people because, you know, you might tend to think the belly would be here, you know, if you're a beginner, because, you know, if this knife, you know, if you're figuring like if this knife was the profile of a person, you know, the belly would be about halfway there. You know, that's something that confused me when I was first learning about knives, but, you know, that is not the belly, that's just the body, all right? The belly on this knife would begin here, and it's a very full belly, goes all the way to there. Now you might say, well, where does the tip end, or the tip begin and the belly end? There's no firm line, okay? The belly of the knife curves until it forms the tip of the knife. And, you know, on skinning knives, or knives that can be used for skinning, such as this camp knife, the belly is going to be very full, because that's that part of the knife is very useful for skinning. Around Christmas time, if you saw, I saw a video of Mr. Lock and Load. He shot a goose, and then he was skinning the goose, and if you watch that, you see he uses a Gerber gator, and he uses the belly of that Gerber gator knife to skin the goose. Alright, so that's one use of the belly. Alright, and you know, there's two features of a belly. There's how full the curve is, and then there's just the how long the actual belly is compared to the length of the rest of the knife and the width of the knife. The more important feature is how curved it is. A knife like this, this is known as a full belly, okay? And, you know, a dagger has the opposite of a full belly. Alright, for example, this dagger right here, you know, because a dagger, it starts curving, so the curve is so gradual that a dagger usually is not, this would technically, you know, this whole area would be the belly. But a dagger usually is not even referred to as having a belly, usually, because that curve is so gradual. Alright? Alright, and let's check out some more examples of bellies on knives. You know, this Remington CTI, it's a skinning knife, and so as you might expect, it has, look where the belly starts. The belly starts right here. That's about right there. That's half of the entire edge is the belly, and that is what you'd expect for something that you would skin with. All right. This is my my D2 Metolius, Gerber Metolius, and as you can see what they've done with this design. They have the tip back, so that the belly, you know, the usable portion of the belly is from here all the way to here. You know, that's an example of a design that they've purposely designed it that way to maximize the amount and the curve of the belly. And also you see it's pretty wide for its length. The wider it is, the more it has to curve back to reach the tip. So that's another feature designed to maximize the belly, and that's why this would be a good skinning knife. And one more camp knife, skinning knife. Again, you see the trend here. It's extra wide in order to have an extra full belly. Alright, now aside from skinning game, one use of that belly is during a slash, okay? You know, a chop is made with the whole edge, or, you know, as much as you can get, and close cutting is done with the entire edge. But a slash, like a long-range slash, okay, it's basically done with the belly and the tip. So the slash would come in a circular fashion, kaboom. Alright, so the bigger the belly on a knife, the better the slashing with that knife. Alright, and a lot of design features on a knife are actually meant to maximize the belly. For example, you see my scimitar butcher knife, okay? On scimitar and Persian style tip designs, as well as bowie style, you can see the reason that tip is pointed back, is swept back, is because with the point right here, the belly has to curve more fully and is longer than if the tip were over here. And the reason that a nice full belly is good on a butcher knife is it makes it good for slicing, because slicing is a circular motion, similar to slashing in that respect. And a belly like that is the best for that motion. Alright, and it's the same idea with folders. Check out this Emerson. Now this is a modified bowie, okay, and why do they have the tip like that? Well, again, the tip is here in order to make this a fuller belly, and that's because this Emerson is it's a tactical knife, and that belly would be very useful in the slash. Alright. And you know, it can get very extreme. Hold on. Let me position your eye candy here. For example, this Spyderco Chinook 3. You see how much they've swept back the tip there. And again, the purpose of that is so that the belly can be fuller. And this was designed by a martial artist for Spyderco, and this is another tactical knife. And you know, it would be an excellent slasher. Modified bowie design, and it would give excellent penetration too. Alright, and another folder. Small folder with a big belly. You know, this is the Kershaw rake. It basically has a barong style body, belly, and tip. You know, the belly starts right here, which is, you know, a whole 1/2 of the blade is the belly. And you know, they make the knife extra wide right to here so that it can curve a long distance to form the nice full belly. Yes. Alright, and you've all heard of a recurve. Well, here's a zero tolerance 200 folder, and you see it has a recurve there. And one reason that a lot of knives have recurves is because, you know, the designer took a point on the edge and they pulled it out to here. And so that has to curve to meet that point right here, unless they just wanted to make a very fat knife body, which sometimes they do. But the recurve, you know, it had to meet this point here, and this point was pulled out in the design just so it could curve back to give it a full belly, because this is another tactical knife, and the full belly is useful for slashing. Alright. Alright, and one of the kings of the full bellies is the cold steel Spartan. You see, again, the recurve. The belly starts about right there. That's more than half the entire length of the blade. More than half of it is belly. Okay, so a monster slasher there. Okay, this has been Sensei Israel, and here's a family portrait. I hope this video has been both educational, entertaining, and informative. And stay tuned for many more.